This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television.
You are watching your local TV sports news one night when the screen suddenly goes fuzzy and this odd character comes onto the screen, says nothing, then he disappears. The TV station you are watching has been hijacked. Later that same night, it happens again. But this time, the hacker has some rather interesting information to share and a strange scenario to act out. My name is M. William Phelps. I'm an investigative journalist and the true crime author of close to 50 books. I've dedicated the past 26 years of my life to helping families of the missing and murdered. Join me next for this Crossing the Line with M. William Phelps shortcut.
There's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Headroom story.
Long before AI invaded our lives, long before Anonymous became a group of vendetta mask-wearing internet vigilantes striving to expose all the corruption this world of ours has been hiding, there was a strange-looking, cartoonish, AI-inspired character with plastic hair, wearing large black sunglasses and a suit, who burst into popular culture. He was internationally famous before 1987, November 22nd to be exact, but it was on that day when the world was introduced to him via a television broadcast hijacking.
Very own Channel 9.
It's a week to cheer about with a whole new season here on Chicago's very own Channel 9.
It's important to set the scene. During the 1980s, the television station WGN-9 in Chicago was not your typical local yokel station with the overzealous weatherman and stories about kittens and fires and local crimes. According to radio TV broadcast journalism research, Chicago's WGN-TV, Channel 9, was a media juggernaut and had transformed from a local independent station into one of the most influential superstations in America, competing directly with Ted Turner's massive TBS and New York's WOR for national cable domination. By the mid-'80s, WGN-9 was in over 40 million homes nationwide and available in all 50 states. WGN is where the Bozo the Clown show truly took flight after a stint in LA under the brand Bozo Circus. The Chicago Bozo show was so popular on WGN, there was a 10-year waiting list for studio audience tickets. And let's be honest here, Bozo the Clown was creepy AF. Making the station an even bigger powerhouse was that WGN was home to the Chicago Cubs and Chicago Bulls, just when Michael Jordan became a National Basketball Association player. So you get what I am saying here. This was not your typical hokey local TV station. The entire country watched Channel 9. That being said, if you were planning to take over a television station to get whatever message it was you wanted out, in 1987, Channel 9 was the Facebook or X or Netflix of its day. It's about 9 o'clock on that November 22nd, 1987 night. During the 8 to 9 p.m. hour, the station is airing an episode of Tales from the Dark Side, a popular show in syndication from 1983 to 1988. At 9 p.m. on the button, WGN's popular 9 o'clock news comes on. Just after the opening news of the broadcast, at about the 9:10 hour, they go right into their sports coverage. On this night, as iconic sportscaster, Dan Rowan begins his segment right at 9:14 p.m. The screen goes black. Not snowy like the signal has been lost in trying to dial itself back in, but completely black. Then the signal gets kind of fuzzy and seems to be coming back on. The newsroom tech team sit up straight, stare at the monitors, and wonder, what in the hell is happening? The power had not gone out. Someone hadn't tripped over a cable and unplugged the camera. As the screen pops back on and into focus, it wasn't Dan Rowan staring back at Chicago residents and millions of others watching from across the country. Instead, this odd-looking man, wearing a rubber mask and sunglasses, with this sort of plastic look about him, comes on. The mask looks a little more expensive than one of those Halloween masks with the rubber band that tore at your hair and smelled of factory plastic. And many immediately recognize the image. It's Max Headroom. Who?
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one
Max Headroom was, incredibly, the first AI-inspired avatar, way back in 1985. And yet, Max was so far from an AI avatar, he might as well have been a mannequin. Max was billed as the world's first computer-generated TV host. He came across as a computer model, and when he spoke,
Max Headroom,
there seemed to be computer glitches and an electronic stutter as he would get stuck on one phrase at times, skipping and skipping for a few seconds before continuing. Today, Max is considered a digital icon. He was such an ingrained part of American popular culture, he had even gotten a gig advertising for Coca-Cola. Yet, Max was not a computer-generated AI at all. Played by actor Matt Frewer, who reportedly underwent 5 hours of makeup to become the character, Max only appeared to be computer-generated. He wore a fiberglass suit to give us that CGI AI effect. And whenever he appeared, his handlers used tricky lighting to make him seem as though he was locked inside a computer world, kind of like Tron. If you were to take over a TV station's feed wearing a Max Headroom mask in 1987, or if you were the creator of Max Headroom yourself, you were trying to say, the future is now. We own your station. If we want to. We can control what you put out. Like I said, this TV hijacking incident was akin to an early version of Anonymous, who were, without a doubt, heavily influenced by the Max Headroom incident. When hackers broke into WGN TV programming wearing the Max Headroom mask at 9:15 that night, the entire broadcast lasted about 90 seconds. They didn't say or do much of anything. It was as if they were testing out the technology they had developed to break in. And yet, the night was still young. Within a few hours, on that same night, they would hack another TV station nearby. And this time, they not only had something to say, but they would act out a bizarre, fetish-like scene. Let's take our only break of the episode, come right back to conclude this Crossing the Line with M. William Phelps shortcut. Max Headroom was created by George Stone, Annabelle Jankel, and Rocky Morton, specifically for a film titled Max Headroom, 20 Minutes into the Future. The name, Max Headroom, is so simple, it's brilliant. A low-clearance parking garage sign. Max Headroom, 2.3 meters. During the mid-1980s, Max Headroom was everywhere. MTV, network TV, on magazine covers, and in advertisements. As I said, Max's big-time score was a Coca-Cola ad campaign in which Max was given the task of promoting New Coke's Catch the Wave ad campaign, a brand which ultimately pissed off die-hard Coca-Cola addicts and failed miserably. Of course, there was no way to tell who had hacked into WGN TV's broadcast loop for those 90 seconds at 9:14 p.m. on November 22nd, 1987, wearing a Max Headroom mask. But very little harm had been done. Max came on the screen, said nothing, and went away. Near 11:15 p.m., on the same night, during an episode of Doctor Who on PBS's Chicago affiliate, Channel 11, the station signal went fuzzy, and soon, there was the creepy Max Headroom imposter again, wearing his mask, standing in front of what was a swirling tin corrugated roof background, intruding on the airwaves. This time, Max the imposter had some things to say and do, and stayed on the air for nearly 2 minutes. Watching the video, it's hard to hear, and the audio quality is terrible. But let me just play a little bit of it so you get the idea.
But it's the only way to learn.
I'll get you a hot drink.
You can dry clothes.
These are freaking nerds. I think I better check Swarovski. Freaking the fool. Oh, Jesus.
Estou subindo.
Oh, I just laid a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds. My brother is wearing the other one. It's dirty. That's where you got blood rain from.
Kinda creepy, right? The tape has undergone scrutiny over the years, and interpretations and transcriptions have been done. The Max hacker opens by saying, "That does it. He's a freaking nerd. I think I'm better than Chuck Swirsky, frickin' liberal." Chuck Swirsky was a local radio sportscaster who filled in on TV as a sports anchor from time to time. "Oh, Jesus," he says next, and then he starts crying. And then he says, "Here we go. Catch the wave." That Coca-Cola slogan. "Your love is fading," he then sings. "I still see the X. My piles. Oh, I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds." The guy in the Max mask, suit and tie, then puts on a welding glove, and he says this: "My brother is wearing the other one, but it's dirty." Then the strange part. The video suddenly cuts to a full view of Max's backside, and his pants are pulled down to expose his bare butt. He says this: "I'm going to put my sign off. Oh no, they're coming to get me. Then, bend over, bitch." There is also some screaming in the background going on. After that, he says, "Don't do it, no." And then we see a woman who is disguised and now in the same shot, spanking Max on the butt with a fly swatter. Strange. After that, the signal cuts off and Doctor Who begins to play again. With the WGN takeover earlier that night, there were engineers on duty and they quickly realized what was going on and they cut the signal, effectively shutting the fake Max down. But that PBS station, WTTW Channel 11, had its transmitters on top of the Sears Tower and there were no engineers working, which allowed Max to stay on for almost 2 minutes. And that right there could say something simple about this crime, that it was an inside job. Otherwise, how could they know to attack the PBS station and that there were no engineers on duty? It's important to recognize that anyone watching TV at this time would have likely recognized Max Headroom. He was such an iconic part of the pop culture landscape during the mid to late 80s. Was the imposter Max protesting commercialism? Or was he just messing around and hijacking the airwaves because he could? Some have said that because the crime took place in November, weeks after Halloween, he chose Max Headroom because it was a popular Halloween costume. I'm not sure I buy that theory. Some have speculated a political motive behind the takeover. I don't believe that was the motive either. The character arc behind Max Headroom is a rather prophetic concept. Max is from what is a dystopian future. In George Orwellian 1984-inspired fashion, society is being run by large TV corporations. And there is a reporter by the name of Edison Carter investigating all of it. Remember now, this is 1985. The big story Eddie is after centers around the idea that 3-second advertisements are being inserted into regular TV and film. Blipverts, they are called. And these advertisements are subliminally injected into the minds of viewers without them realizing. And some of those people are dying because of it. So it has this comic book type of theme going on, with the hero, Edison Carter, at the center. As Eddie investigates, he gets into a convenient accident and winds up in a coma. In the story, we are told the final image Eddie saw before the accident was that parking garage sign, Max Headroom, 2.3 meters. From there, while he is in that coma, the television station of which is the focus of his investigation downloads Eddie's memories into an AI-like avatar of him, which gives us that now iconic Max Headroom image and persona. Max Headroom embodies all that a TV presenter is. This on what is an over-the-top level. He is full of himself, has this enormous ego, and comes across as an arrogant SOB, all of which is a direct message to television and Hollywood in general. So, the concept of Max Headroom was very unique and creative and visionary for its time. For a Max Headroom imposter to kidnap the airwaves of a TV station seems, well, entirely apropos. The FBI became involved right away. If this could happen, and someone wanted to do serious damage to the American population with some sort of War of the Worlds type of believable broadcast, the risk of widespread fear and violence and danger was high. Not to mention, it is a crime. The FBI uncovered right away that the signal takeover was not from within the station itself, but had been generated by what's called a studio-to-transmitter link override. And the perpetrators used a high-powered transmitter pointed at the station's receiving antenna. When you look at the actual computer code to do it, it proves how seemingly simple it was to do with the right equipment. Today, of course, we have firewalls to head off recoding and hijacking TV and radio signals. The FBI came out and said the person responsible would be fined $100,000 and spend a year in prison. So, as laughable as it all was, the crime was pretty serious. The problem for the FBI was that during this time, there was limited computer forensics, no cell towers, nobody had an IP address, and there was no such thing as a digital footprint, which made it impossible to track down the person digitally. In addition, computers then would seem like primitive calculators to us today. The Max Headroom takeover that night wasn't a live broadcast. It was a pre-recorded videotape. All the hackers had to do was bring the tape to their transmitter site, tune in to the station's transmitter, and hit play. Over the years, investigators focused on the theory of a disgruntled TV engineer or someone from within the TV station itself who had a beef. But that failed to generate a suspect. Chicago was also known then as Hacker Central, with a large culture of underground hackers roaming about. Many decades later, of course, Reddit got to work on solving the mystery, blaming two brothers from Chicago who owned more than your average amount of broadcasting equipment. But that did nothing more than publicly shame and accuse two innocent people of a crime. To this day, the Max Headroom Signal TV takeover, or TV hijacking, remains unsolved. It's one of those enduring American pop culture mysteries that fascinates as much as intrigues legions of computer nerds and television buffs, and, I'll say, one true crime podcaster. Incidentally, if the hacker wanted to step forward now, the statute of limitations has passed. The person or persons responsible could take credit and not face any criminal charges. I hope you don't mind me taking a break from the normal murder, missing person, cold case for this Crossing the Line with M. William Phelps shortcut. Within the shortcut feed of the show, I sometimes like to explore the unexplained, unexpected, and bizarre crime stories throughout American history. I want to thank you for listening. I am forever grateful for your continued and fast-growing support. Write in and let me know which bizarre and crazy stories you'd like me to cover on Shortcuts. I'll see what I can do. Don't forget, I drop a new Crossing the Line with M. William Phelps regular length episode every Wednesday night at midnight. So hit the subscribe button and don't miss an episode. Until my next shortcut.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced.
Be safe, be aware, be alert. I'd like to let you know I have a new book out, the first book I've published in 5 years. It's called They Came for Blood. I have always wanted to write Westerns, a dream since my childhood. Tom Callahan was once President Ulysses S. Grant's deadliest kept secret, a lethal gun for hire leading a team of assassins nobody knew existed. Now those days are over, or so he thought. Therefore, when the past comes for blood, you either draw first or die trying. Look for They Came for Blood on Amazon.com or anywhere books are sold. Check it out. There's a lot of murder in the book, so it's not a departure from my day job. Sources for this shortcut episode include The Mystery of the Creepiest TV Hack by Chris Niddle, November 25th, 2013, Vice. Computer Ethics, Cautionary Tales and Ethical Dilemmas in Computing, a book by Tom Forster and Perry Morrison, 1994. 30 years later, Max Headroom Hijack Mystery remains unsolved by Judith Unruh, November 22nd, 2017, WGN9 News. Crossing the Line is executive produced by M. William Phelps, LLC, and Matthew Valentinus, Mom's Basement Management. Written by me, M. William Phelps. Audio mastering and mixing by Matt Russell. Music by Epidemic Sound. Original music written and performed by Thomas Mooney, Tom Phelps, and Matt Russell.